Thank you so much. Well, I know why you're all really here. You want to know what secrets are in my diaries. I know, they're very salacious. You won't believe it. Well, all right. Let's get right down to it then, shall we? I began writing at the age of 11, and, well, why don't I let young Kathryn tell you more? Friday, October 28th, 1994. Dear Diary, you, a book that I will tell my inner self to as long as I can, will hopefully be with me through all my life. I plan to write to you all I can, which will hopefully be every day. I plan to call you Rivka, R-I-F-C-A, which is my Hebrew name. I found you at an estate sale. You were only $1, so my mom bought you for me. I'm in 6th grade at McIntosh Middle. I'm on a team called the Aces. My team wheel class is what inspired me to write to you because we're reading the Diary of Anne Frank, which, may I add, is a very exciting book. I need a place where I can go, where I can whisper what I know, where I can whisper who I like, and where I go to see them. I need a place where I can hide, where no one sees my life inside, where I can make my plans and write them down so I can read them. A place where I can bid my heart be still and it will mind me. A place where I can go when I am lost, and there I'll find me. I need a place to spend the day where no one says to go or stay, where I can take my pen and draw the girl I mean to be. The next day. Dear Rivka, I'll tell you some more about me today. I'm about 5'2", tall as my mom. I've got strawberry blonde hair. I think I have a slim figure. I think I weigh about 90 pounds. I have 2 brothers, Robert, who is 1.5 years older than me, and Daniel, who is 3 years younger than me. My mom, who is 40, great legs. She looks 34. Her name is Sharon, and she's a great singer. My dad, who is 47, he looks 40. His name is David, and he's a great pianist. Together, my parents are a great team with singing and playing the piano. We have a dog, Bon Bon. She's a small white Maltese. We all love her, but my dad tries not to show it. I need a place to spend the day where no one says to go or stay, where I can take my pen and draw the girl I mean to be. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sometimes growing up in a house full of music can be music-full. 2 years later. Dear Rivka, well, my life sure isn't dull anymore. There is never silence in our house. My mom's always singing one thing or another, and Dad's on the piano. The sentiment from this song fits this moment in my life and many others. I just moved into 14G, so cozy, calm, and peaceful. Heaven for a mouse like me, with quiet by the lease full. Pets are banned, parties too, and no solicitations. Window seat with garden view, a perfect nook to read a book. I'm lost in my Jane Austen when I hear oh, 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 oh. say it isn't so. Not the flat below. From an opera wannabe in a 13G, a matinee of some cantata, Wagner's Ring La Traviata. My first night in 14G, I'll put up with Puccini, brew myself a cup of tea, crochet until she's feeny, 8:30, not a peep, except the clock tick-tocking. Now I lay me down to sleep. A comfy bed to rest my head, a stretch, a yawn, I'm almost gone when. Do we zwa do ta doop do speedly Floyd oi be blip na 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 wee. Now the girl upstairs wakes me unawares. Blowing down from 15G, her reveille. She's scatting like her name is Ella. Guess who answers a cappella? Zoot-doot-doo, Floyd-a-doy. Zoot-doot-doo, Floyd-a-doy. I'm not one to make a fuss, speak my mind, or make a fuss, but might I query, would you mind if, could you kindly, stop? Oh, that felt good. Stop! 13, 15, 14G, a most unlikely trio. Not quite 3-part harmony. All day, all night, we're singing zoot doot doot boy to boy, a beep bop boop bop boy to boy. Stop! Had my fill of peace and quiet. Shout out loud, I've changed my diet, all because of 14G. Thank you. Thanks. This is where I bust out the fancy placard. And we learn about Kathryn and growing up. So I wrote this poem when I was 16. It is very deep. Are you ready? Get into a place, okay, with me. All right, here we go. Why is life such a mystery? The future so powerless to see. Your heart unavoidably calling for dreams you know to be sprawling. What is the force that sets one apart from the soul to the mind to the beat of one's heart? Can hope deliver us all from the sorrows that will fall? Why did our existence start? Love, Kathryn. Yeah, do you like that? I know. I was getting really into it. I hope you're all like existentially like at another level right now. But come back down to earth and focus on me. All right, let's back up to Kathryn in middle school. I was in the 6th grade, thus beginning the discovery of 3 hugely significant concepts: insecurity, uncertainty, and how to count, no, and hormones. Friday, April 12th, 1996. Dear Rivka, hi! Guess what? I got my ears pierced after school today. Well, actually, I should probably be in a good mood, but I'm not. Too much is on my mind. First of all, my friends think that I'm a prep. I am in tears, actually. I'm too mature for everyone, which sounds stupid, but it's true. I don't know how to act in order to fit in. It is very depressing. I'm too much of a goody-goody. No, nowhere near what I was last year, but I mean, still, I hate that kind of image. It's also annoying that... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Another thing is bothering me. My bat mitzvah is coming up, and all of my friends are in band, and including Robert, they all have to perform the same day, so they can't even stay for my party. I still need to practice a ton for that. I need to get away. Oh, life sucks. I kind of like someone. His name is Mustafa. I know, odd name, but he's sweet and cute, but I don't know. Life is so hard. God! I don't know how my future is going to turn out, and that's frustrating. I want to be a famous actor, but I'm not even started on my acting lessons because my mom wants me to wait. I have to wait with everything. I feel like calling Kim. Maybe she'll cheer me up. Yours, Kathryn. Somehow, I survived the preppy years and made it to November of 2000. Florida was in the news quite a bit at that time. I was, of course, more concerned with a much more pressing matter. Wednesday, November 8th, 2000, Rivka. This is a day for the history books. The new president was to be announced today, but he wasn't. And it all comes down to Florida, our happy home. Oh, God, why don't I have a boyfriend? I haven't kissed a guy since ages ago, and anything more than that, who knows how long. Why can't I simply meet someone? What's my problem? Are guys really intimidated by me? Am I way too picky? It's been so long, I'm scared to try anything. 4 days later. Rivka, still no president, still no boyfriend. A manual recount is being called for in certain counties. Oh, where's my boyfriend? Whatever. I'll just suffer my whole adolescent life. You know, I turn 18 in less than a month. P.S. I'm hoping for an artistic outlet. They're writing songs of love, but not for me. A lucky stars above, but not for me. I'm getting to it. With love to lead the way, I found more clouds of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. Hey ho, alas, and also lack-a-day. Although I can't dismiss the memory of his kiss. Finally, a month later, I got some closure, but not in the way you would expect. Rivka, Gore just conceded to Bush. This is a day for the history books. Gore just made a beautiful speech and now the country must unify. It started off so swell, this let's pretend. It all began so well, but what an end. The climax of our plot should be the marriage knot. But there's no knot for me. Thank you. Thank you. I know you all were really, really worried about me, and I appreciate that. In my teens, there was an act, we'll say, that I was absolutely, positively terrified of. You know, the kind with the tongue. Yeah. Is there any other? Where were you when I was 13? You can just stay in the audience. All right. Late into my 13th year. You know, I guess I'm almost afraid to go out with someone. I mean, I have 2 times, but I've never been French kissed or anything. I'm actually way behind in my grade when it comes to that. Nearly a year later, I can't help but think about sex. What's it going to be like? Who will I do it with? When will I do it? Pretty bad considering how I haven't even been French kissed yet, which I'm also worried about. I don't want to look like a fool. I'm not sure how to handle my hormones. Feelings are tumbling over feelings I do not understand. And I am more than slightly worried that they are getting out of hand. Sometimes they happen in my stomach, sometimes they happen on my skin. What is the name of this condition that I am in? If I'm objective and observant, if I can keep an even keel, I'll be the first to pin a name to what I'm the very first to feel. I am the first to face this problem. I am the first to have this dream. How can I harness his attention? How can I harvest his esteem? Am I sufficiently attractive? Should I do something with my hair? Is there some tidbit that will please him? What should I wear? What is the source of this congestion that I must learn to rise above? Is there a name for this condition? Yes, there's a name, and it is hell. Thank you. Ooh. Thank you. Thinking about French kissing makes my saliva go away. What's up with that? All right. 6 months go by, and I am now a freshman in high school. Well, things are actually moving in my otherwise unproductive life. I might go out with this guy, S. He's a junior, but he's really cute, and I feel so comfortable around him. But of course, I'm afraid. What about kissing? What am I going to do? I would be afraid to kiss a junior of all people for the first time. Oh well, life bites. 2 weeks later. A lot has happened since I last wrote. Mostly, S and I are going out like steady. Now, we haven't French kissed yet, so I'm still unexperienced, but Rivka, I really, really like him. I mean, I almost love him. I think about him all the time. Wow. I I'm as corny as Kansas in August. I'm as normal as blueberry pie. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found me a wonderful guy. I am in a conventional dither with a conventional star in my eye. And you will note there's a lump in my throat when I speak of that wonderful guy. I'm as bright and as gay as a daisy in May, a cliche coming true. I'm bromidic and bright as the night, happy night pouring light on the dew. I'm as corny as Kansas in August, high as a flag on the 4th of July. If you'll excuse an expression I use, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a wonderful guy. Thank you. 3 weeks go by, and my next entry. S and I are still going. We French kissed 2 days ago. Thank you. It was awesome. So easy and perfect. Anyways, I think I still like him, but I don't know. I'm like claustrophobic when it comes to relationships. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way. I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms. I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms. I'm gonna wave that man right out of my arms and send him on his way. Thanks. Well, what would be better than following up a section on awkward love and dating than introducing you to my dad? Well, it's easy to associate my father, his name is David Ohrenstein, with the piano because that's where I've always seen him. But on top of that, he has a delightful sense of humor, which you'll get to know in a moment, and he's wildly creative. He has written over 500 pieces of original music. And tonight he's going to be playing a special arrangement for you. So, Father, come on out. There you go.
Thank you, Kathryn, for that nice introduction. And isn't she great, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you. Well, I want to thank you for coming. And do I have a story for you? I should preface by saying I've worked about 13 seasons in the Catskill Mountains, accompanying all kinds of comedians. And I'd like to share one of the stories with you here. This is a story about a lady who decides to become a nun. And she goes to a nunnery and sees the Mother Superior. And the Mother Superior says, you know, we've taken a vow of poverty here. And the lady says, well, that's okay. One day, she receives an inheritance in the mail, $100 from her father. And the Mother Superior comes up to her and says, you know, we've taken that vow of poverty. What are you going to do with that $100? And the lady thinks for a moment and says, I know. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and give it to the first poor man that I see. The Mother Superior says, very nice. So she gets up the next morning and goes to a park and sees this poor little old man who's been sleeping on a park bench all night. And she says to him, here, sir, here's $100. Godspeed. And she goes back to the nunnery. The next day, there's a knock at the nunnery door. She answers the door, and who's there except that same man she gave the $100 to? And he says, here's $2,000. Godspeed, and came in and paid 20 to 1. I see some of you play the horses too. Well, my ancestry is 100% Polish, so I'm going to play something by the great Polish composer Paderewski, who's also the first president of Poland, his Minuet in G.
Lovely job, Father. Well, what do you think? Thank you. I thought this would be a nice look to introduce my next section. Confidence. All right. So, late into my 13th year, I discovered what it was to have confidence, thanks to a true literary classic, which I will get to. Dear Rivka, you know, I finally feel good about myself. I mean, I have a great body, and I'm not that bad looking. See, actually, my goal is to have more confidence about myself. I think I'm pretty, and so do a lot of other people. I mean, I'm not conceited or anything. I'm just myself. Yours, Kathryn. The next entry. I reread what I wrote yesterday, and it surprised me. I've never actually written down anything like that before. Well, you see, I was reading a book, Sweet Valley High, Jessica's Secret Diary. And I was amazed at how much confidence her character has. And it was because she felt good about herself and thought of herself as pretty. I figured, what's the shame of feeling that way? So from now on, I can have just as much confidence. 8 months later, I was getting really good at this confidence thing. Dear Rivka, I haven't written in a while. I'm sorry. I say this now sort of sadly and wistful, maybe because I'm tired. I am becoming gorgeous. I know. You're probably thinking, aren't you completely happy about that? Oh, and I am. Don't get me wrong. But I'm still me. See, earlier when I said this, I say this sadly, I don't mean that, but I think it's taken me this long to really grasp it and accept it. I mean, it's about time, and that's why I'm sad. So long of thinking I'm fat and ugly and useless, but I'm beautiful. Look at me. I am gorgeous. I am absolutely gorgeous. Here's this avalanche of beauty in one woman, and I'm it. Ha! Look at the way all of the parts fit together, stunning. See the way my nose stopped running. I was positive this creature was there inside the old me. All bottled up waiting to get free. Now I see the real me. Look at this, look at that, look at those. Let me just feel me. Beautiful, glamorous, radiant, ravishing. Look at the hair, look at the dress, look everywhere. I am such a divine me. Every studio will sign me. My cup runneth over. Whoever saw such a complete wow! Nobody would say no to me now. No one is as gorgeous as I am. Thank you. You know, I'd like to say that I calmed down, but I don't know that I did. All right. So this next section actually is quite meaningful to me. And the first time I ever went away from home, it was for 5.5 weeks. I was 16, and I can't tell you how hard it was for me to just, be away from my family and my friends for the first time. And I went to Israel. One moment. I'm parked because it's desert light over there. So, drink lots of water when you're in Israel. That's all I can say. Okay, so here we go. Date, June 22nd, 1999. Place, Sarasota, my room. Don't worry, everything will be fine, said Lindsley Berry, my best friend. One of my biggest problems is worrying. My problem now as well. My doctor even told me not to worry so much. You could call it a prescription. Richard Dreyfuss in What About Bob said it well. Take a vacation from your problems. So here I am. Thanks, Daniel, for laughing. That's my brother. We watched that movie a lot together. Where was I? Okay, so here I am. I'm so excited. I leave home tomorrow. I'm all packed and ready to go. Now, you're meant to be my personal journal. I don't want anyone reading you, but I can see myself reading you a year from now. I'd like to look back and think, wow, that was an incredible 5.5 weeks. Now, enter into Kathryn's life, an on-again, off-again relationship with insomnia, severe homesickness, and trouble feeling like I fit in. And the next few weeks were fraught with sleepy 16-year-old despair. But eventually, things started looking up. Today, we were up at 1:30 a.m. Yeah. By 2:15, we were off on the bus for Masada, a 2-hour bus ride in which I didn't sleep. We reached Masada and hiked up the easy 15-minute way. We watched the sun rise and ate breakfast. Then we toured Masada and Herod's palace, where the Jews survived from the Romans. But what really gave me goosebumps was when you looked down, Masada is really high and protected. You saw the ruins of a Roman camp surrounding the mountain, because in order to attack Masada, the Romans surrounded the place and built a ramp. The day before the Romans reached the top, the Jews killed themselves. They gave up. It teaches us that Jews should never give up again. Then from there, we went on a water hike. It was so beautiful. We swam in a waterfall. It was so much fun. Also at like 10:45 a.m., we went to the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea. It is so crazy how you float, but my God, it stings your ass. Beth and I ran back from the water to the shower, which was way too far. Then we put mud all over ourselves, and it felt so good to shower again after that. Next, we rode back to Beit Shu. I slept for an hour, my first time sleeping on the bus. Then we went to dinner, and after that, awards were handed out. I got a certificate for excellence in burping. Thank you. By now, I felt really sick due to lack of sleep and a sinus problem. Got back to the room, finished packing, and by 12 was out like a light. By the way, that featured original music by my father. The final entry in my Israeli diary. 7:15 Israeli time, 12:15 New York time. I'm with my family now, and I'm sad. Israel was so amazing. I think I spent so much time counting the days till I left, I didn't realize how much I should be living for the moment. But Rivka, I had an incredible, amazing, incomparable, breathtaking, wonderful, magical 5.5 weeks. Sure, it had its difficult times, but I don't want to forget anything about it. I was changed. I did everything this summer by my own strength. My strength of character, my heart, my intelligence. A line from the movie French Kiss just popped into my head. Charlie explains his falling in love by saying, I can climb the highest mountain and even pee with some big guy standing right in front of me. This line has always seemed stupid to me, but now it makes sense. I climbed the highest mountain. I peed with many people in front of me. I fell in love with Israel and gained confidence in myself. I don't ever want this feeling to go away. I will always remember Israel and what it means to me. I've discovered the secret of happiness is learning how to glide. I've discovered the secret of happiness is just enjoy the ride. Don't let the journey be tainted by pride. I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to mourn the past. I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to run too fast. We can still beat them by coming in last. And the secret of happiness is I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to be afraid. I've discovered the secret of happiness is no, your dreams must fade. Don't fear the future, you'll just be delayed. And the secret of happiness is living in the now. Living in the time it takes to blink, I think is how we're meant to be living. I've discovered the secret of happiness is following my will. I've discovered the secret of happiness is though we can run that hill, happiness comes when we learn to be still. And the secret of happiness is the secret of happiness is near. The secret of happiness is clear. The secret of happiness is here. Thank you. One. All right, well, if you're all here, then you know there's another thing in my life which is very meaningful, and that is theater. You know, it's taken a lot of time and hard work to be up here today, this perfect example of utter incredible beauty that you see before you. And I was fortunate enough to start learning a lot of the theater craft when I went to a performing arts high school. Yes, it was great. You all went to that one too, didn't you? No, we all have to make our own way and learn our own lessons. So, here we go. Dear Rivka, guess what? I made it into Booker Theater VPA. I'm so excited. And not only that, but I passed with flying colors. I more than ever want to go there. See, I auditioned yesterday, and until then, I had been having doubts. But yesterday, everything changed. I loved everything I saw. Well, most people won't know if they made it until Tuesday, but Miss B, who also happened to be judging, called last night and said, I got in! Sophomore year. Dear Rivka, sometimes I feel so untalented. I mean, Booker is the cream of the crop, and it is so hard with that kind of competition. I feel like I'll never get cast because everyone else is just better. Just whatever. And whether or not my talent was lacking in some way, my freshman, sophomore, and then junior year passed, and I still was never cast in a role. Then finally, senior year, they picked a show that was perfect for me. It was a role I had always yearned to play. Not incredibly well known, but it meant the world to me. And it was Amalia in She Loves Me. Now, everyone who does theater learns at some point that no matter how badly your heart wants something with every fiber of its being, you may not get it. And actually, you probably won't get it. But I felt certain this time that not only was the role perfect for me, but they owed me. After auditions, and then not one but 2 callbacks, the cast list was announced. And the disappointment hurt so much, I couldn't even say it outright in my diary. Dear Rivka, sadly, it figures. What could I have expected from them? But I'm okay now. I skipped the end of school, and Mom and I went shopping. The next day, when I told my teachers that I would not do chorus this time, they actually threatened to kick me out of the program. I had spent 3.5 years in it, and the one time I didn't play by their rules, they didn't like that. And this is what I wrote. Everything went from bad to worse. Why do bad things happen to good people? I think I cried more yesterday than I did in all 4 years of high school. But despite my bad luck in casting, I was eventually accepted into the very exclusive Musical Theater Conservatory at the University of Miami. But, well, let me read. My junior year. Dear Rivka, I'm feeling low. Really, really low. I mean, I do chorus like nobody. But why is it that I can't step out and into the spotlight? And don't get me wrong, this is an extremely competitive program, but maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe the joke's on me. Maybe I'm wrong about everything. I just feel like stopping. Look at me. No one will look at me. No one will dare to spend the time it takes to look at me, to really look at me. What did I do to make you angry at me? My God, this is so hard. Look at me, look at me. Can you imagine what it's like when people look at me? Look at me! Is this the tender mercy that you're known for? My God, don't be so hard. Give me the wings of an angel. Don't pull back, don't shudder. Look elsewhere, lose interest. I'm almost there. This is where the preacher stands. 2 kinds of people in this world. All I have are promises to raise me up and set me free. I could shine like a moonbeam on the silk of a ball gown. I could be someone lovely. I must know that I will get a part in theater at some point. And if it's not in school, it'll be somewhere else. All I need is someone to wonder, who is she, to ask how to meet me, to love me all to pieces. The shadows when I come and sing to you. Let me dream a song that I can sing to you. Take me in your arms and let me cling to you. Let me linger long, let me live my song. In the winter, let me bring the spring to you. Let me feel that I mean everything to you. Love's old song will be new. In the shadows when I come and sing to you, dear. In the shadows when I come and sing to you. Thank you. Did you all like the surprise appearance of my mother? You know, you got to have your mom around because she helps out when you need it. It's fantastic. All right, well, now is my favorite part of the show. Did you all like the fans, by the way? It was on my bucket list, so I got it taken care of. Thank you. Bucket list, check. Okay, so can we get some house lights up? Now, this is my favorite portion, where anyone in Sparkles gets a sequined tiara. So, well, not anyone, six people. But I see some sparkles. Here you go. I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. I see sparkles. Ooh, you look nice. I see sparkles too. Oh, okay. All right, if you guys can't play, you're only getting one. All right, who else has sparkles? Hi! You definitely get one. Do you like that? Mama Biscuit definitely gets a sparkly tiara. Thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi. Any other sparkles? Oh, hi. You totally have sparkles. There you go, Patty. I love it. Oh, I see some over here. Thank you. There you go. Thank you all for wearing your sparkles, and now you have more sparkles, so it's fantastic. Woo-woo! It's so lovely seeing all of you here tonight. I really appreciate your being here. So I know you're all very concerned for young Kathryn. Does she ever get a part? Who knows? Yes. How did you know? So here we go. All right. We're getting there. Okay, so Sunday, October 25th, 1998. I was in high school. I believe I was a junior, something like that. Who knows? Okay. Dear Rivka, well, shall I start with the golden apple? So, Wednesday, it was all fate. Mom picked me up from school for the first time in my life. I went out to the car, and Mom and Miss B started talking. While waiting, Miss A runs out and asks me if I could perform at the Golden Apple on Saturday. Yeah. They needed a replacement for a girl who wouldn't be there for the matinee performance. I guess they asked Miss A for a recommendation, and she said Kathryn Ohrenstein, which was my name at the time, or Sarah Anderson. Of the 100 people in theater, she picked me or Sarah. I mean, just putting me in the same category as Sarah made me feel awesome. But she recommended me. Of everyone. And Miss B, who never casts me, was there, and she heard everything. It was so perfect. Anyways, so I saw the show that night. It's called Cactus Flower. It was so funny. I played Botticelli Springtime, the girlfriend to a guy that had to pretend to be the boyfriend to a nurse who was pretending to be the dentist she works for's wife to fool his girlfriend he wants to marry, but he said he was married. Whew. Botticelli was kind of like an innocent bystander who had no idea what was going on. The people were so nice. It was really cool. And now I've worked for the Golden Apple and I can put professional theater down on my resume. Yes. Yay. Woo! From that first Golden Apple encounter, I went on to do 16 shows at 8-week runs, 7 shows a week. That's roughly 900 performances, or almost 3 years of a person's life. But way more than the experiences on the stage were the friendships that I made, many of whom are still in this community and I know would take a stage bullet for me. And it was on summer break from college that Roberta McDonald cast me in my first leading role as Nanette in No, No, Nanette. As you can imagine, a month before, I was a mess. I'm so grateful to Roberta for the opportunity, but I, of course, worry that I won't be good enough and the Golden Apple made a mistake in hiring me. But you are good enough, and it's just time that finally somebody else has realized that too. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone, dear. Day will break and I'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take for all the boys to see. From there, it was another Golden Apple friend, Charlene Clark, who suggested I audition for Polly in the Coconuts at the Venice Theatre, my first show here in 2005. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. The next big part I auditioned for was Eliza Doolittle, and I got it! The run of My Fair Lady is 2 weeks down, 2 to go. What an undefinable experience. Exhilarating, validating, challenging, exhausting, grand, enlightening, wonderful. Anyhow, I'm loving it! I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting, why all at once my heart took flight. I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced. One more week of Titanic. I've had such fun, I didn't think it possible. I'm also at a great place in my life right now. I have my own blog on creative loafing. Camille and I are doing another photo shoot next month. I look amazing. My health is good. And when you Google my name, I'm at 3.5 pages. In that grandest nation, I'll stand tall. Reach my very highest hopes of all. I'm close to the top of the world right now. I want to be a lady's maid in America. In America, the streets are paved with gold. A few shows passed, and I auditioned for Anna in The King and I. And I wrote in my diary about the audition, I am going to rock it. And I got the part. I know how it feels to have wings on your heels and to fly down the street in a trance. You fly down the street on the chance that you'll meet, and you meet not really by chance. Don't cry. do. Don't cry because I'm alone. All of my memories are happy tonight. I've had a love of my own. I've had a love of my own like yours. I've had a love of my own. Thank you. Thank you. I understand Brian Rudolph is here tonight. He played my king. Hello. Following up on Anna, I played Maria in The Sound of Music. It felt so validating to receive these roles, but that wasn't without new forms of stresses. Last night was ridiculous. I didn't fall asleep until 7 a.m. I mean, that's worse than my normal insomnia, but the good news is that I don't really think it affected my performance much tonight, so I don't have to be frightened of lack of sleep. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel. Rehearsals for a chorus line went well tonight. Cassie is coming along. Tomorrow I have to work at being more raw. Barry says that my dancing is exquisite, but I need to push harder. I'm almost there. I think part of it is still the fear that I'm going to break, but I won't. Also, I know the steps. I need to take a giant risk and just put it all out on the line. Let them in and trust that we are both hungry for it. Throw me a rope to grab onto. Help me to prove that I'm strong. Give me the chance to look forward to saying, hey, listen, they're playing my song. Play me the music. Give me the chance to come through. All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and the chance to dance. My first villain, Eve, in applause. All is well, small headache, sometimes trouble sleeping. I write in clips because I feel like I don't have time for complete sentences. Where does that come from? She feels bitchy and twitchy and manic. Calm and collected, no sign of panic. She's alive. She's alive, so alive. I'm wound up like a string that's been tightened. Dreamy and dizzy, but not a bit frightened. I'm alive. I'm alive, so alive. After applause, it was almost another year before I landed a big part in a musical. There's something about this moment I truly want to capture. I am up among the stars being Polly and crazy for you. It's the role, the cast, working with Charlie, the lights, the costumes. It's magical. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man Troubles, I don't mind him, you won't find him around my door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more. Just finished my second week of Carousel. It's going well, but honestly, I can't wait for it to be over. I'm just feeling very spread thin, though I do have much to be grateful for. A fantastic cast, working with my mom, 2 leading roles in a row, an amazing theater, The Players, where I could not feel more loved. You know, even if I were doing this in New York, what are the chances I could play such amazing roles by this time in my life? I'd let my golden chances pass me by. Soon you'd leave me, off you would go in the mist of day. Never, never to know. I finished out the season with another Gershwin show, My One and Only, where I got to tap dance in water. I mean, how many people can say they've done that? Band dance, tap dance in water. Anyways, I also received a Handy Award for my work in all 3 shows that season. The show is done. I am bummed. I am saddened. I'm okay. I am joyful. I should focus on the good, the experience I had, the people I met, the life I'm lucky to lead. And I'm grateful for the audience who came out each night to see me perform. You've made my life so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. Oh, so wonderful. It's marvelous that you should care for me. Thank you. No, I really have been very lucky and blessed to get to do some of the roles that I have. So, well, you've certainly gotten a glimpse of me tonight, and there's someone who has had a huge impact in making me the way I am. So I would like to introduce you to a second time to my mother.
Thanks. Well, you know, when the microphone's not in the right place, Mom to the rescue.
Exactly.
I hope you're enjoying tonight. Kathryn and I don't get to share the stage very often. The first time was in La Cage aux Folles, and I played a role that really stretched me, her mom. And then the second time, my character got to sing to her character, You'll Never Walk Alone. That was a very special evening. Kathryn's been after me for quite a number of years to sing this next piece. It's from Light in the Piazza, and a mother reflects on a very special moment in her daughter's life. You can look in the forest for a secret field, for a golden arrow, for a prince to appear, for a fable of love that will last forever. You can look in the ruins for a wishing well, for a magic apple, for a charioteer, for a fable of love that will carry you to the moon on the hill of a hidden stream, a lagoon and a red horizon dream, silhouettes set away from time forever. For the valley beyond the setting sun, where waters shine and horses run, where there's a man who looks for you. But while you look, you are changing, turning. You're a well of wishes, you're fallen out. painting on a ceiling, just a children's fairy tale. Still you want to look and 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 look for the eyes on the bridge of a pouring rain. Not the eyes, but the part you can't explain. For the arms you could fall into forever. For the joy that you thought you'd never know. And here at last away you go to a man who looks for you. If you find in the world, in the wide, wide world, that someone sees, that someone knows you, love, love, love if you can, oh my Clara. Love if you can, and be loved. May it last forever. Clara. The light in the piazza.
Isn't she something? She is fantastic. I just like sharing her with everybody. She's just so, I don't know. I don't know what to say. All right, well, on to the next section. I think I'll use this. Thank you. There's another important part of my life, and I've been saving it for you until just now. His name is Jonathan, and he is my husband. So I fell hard and fast for him, but, why don't I let myself tell you all about it? Starting with an entry from right after our wedding, which was in October 2010. And by the way, we totally put on a show at my wedding. All of my friends sang, and it was fantastic. It was kind of the reception, and it was great because Jonathan and all of his friends could be the audience. It worked out really well. Got back from our honeymoon late last night. The last week and a half was the best of my life. I loved every moment, from the plane ride there to the car ride home. I may be suffering from slight post-wedding depression. The wedding itself was so magical. There was some hard work the days before, but everything came together like clockwork, from how amazing I looked to the ceremony, thank you, to the show. Jonathan has been amazing. In every moment, every gesture, every look, he has made me feel loved, adored, and incredibly special. Our honeymoon was perfect. Just spending time with Jonathan was great. He's what's important to me, and since I have him now, the honeymoon never has to end. Well, let's go back in time 5 years before that entry, several months after we started dating. Dear Rivka, I can't quite fall asleep. I guess I'm just excited to see Jonathan tomorrow. He went away for Thanksgiving, and now I am dying to see him. And I got the impression on the phone that he's feeling the same way. It's all pretty crazy. I really like the man. Damn him. I rode on the back of a motorcycle for him. Me, Kathryn, on a motorcycle. Well, I may have sung show tunes in my helmet the whole time, but still. And I do have my doubts, mainly because, he's starting to mess with my lifelong ideas for my future. And I wonder what it could mean to the course of my life. Will I be unhappy if I don't go to LA? Will I be okay to let Jonathan get away from me? Do I really love him? Am I too young to tell? He's a very smart prince. He's a prince who prepares, knowing this time I'd run from him. He spread pitch on the stairs. I was caught unawares, and I thought, well, he cares. This is more than just malice. Better stop and take stock while you're standing here stuck on the steps of the palace. You think, what do you want? You think, make a decision. Why not stay and be caught? You think, well, it's a thought. What would be his response? But then what if you knew who you were when you know that you're not what he thinks that he wants? But then what if you are what a prince would envision? Although how can you know who you are till you know what you want, which you don't? So then which do you pick? Where you're safe out of sight and yourself, but where everything's wrong? Or where everything's right and you know that you'll never be long? And whichever you pick, do it quick, 'cause you're starting to stick to the steps of the palace. It's your first big decision. The choice isn't easy to make. To arrive at a ball is exciting and all once you're there, though it's scary. And it's fun to deceive when you know you can leave, but you have to be wary. There's a lot that's at stake, but you've stalled long enough, 'cause you're still standing stuck in the stuff on the steps. Better run along home and avoid the collision. Even though they don't care, you'd be better off there where there's nothing to choose, so there's nothing to lose. So you pry off your shoes. Then from out of the blue, and without any guide, you know what your decision is, which is not to decide. You'll just leave him a clue. For example, a shoe, and then see what he'll do. Now it's he and not you who is stuck with a shoe in the stew, in the goo. And you've learned something too, something you never knew. On the steps of the palace. Thank you. Thank you. More time goes by, and dear Rivka, Jonathan and I just spent the weekend at the Ritz, and it was possibly everything you could imagine. Am I hopelessly in love with him? Is he just God's gift to women? No, seriously, I'm not kidding. He's just so thoughtful all the time. He rubbed my back, my feet the whole weekend. He always got me a pillow just when I wanted one. I think we'll skip this next section. I learned how to French kiss. He would be such a good husband for me. Does he feel the same way? All weekend, the staff was calling us Mr. and Mrs. Parks. What do I do with this man? And I asked myself a good question Thursday. When did I change my dreams for him? And how much remorse does that give me? 3 months later. Well, will wonders never cease? He loves me! Last night we discussed our feelings for each other really and finely. I had to say it first, of course. But it had been something we'd both been thinking about a lot lately. He even said that sometimes he dreams about buying me the biggest ring. And he said he hadn't felt as bonded with anyone as close as we are in a very long time. He also said after my initial, I'm in love with you, which he knew was coming and even prompted me into saying it, that I love you too. And in the words of Commander Adama from Battlestar Galactica, which I can't believe I'm quoting right now. That's what love is. Thoughts and feelings. If you think you love someone, then you do. I don't see a miracle shining from the sky. I'm no good at statues and stories. I try. That's not what I think about. That's not what I see. I know what the sunlight can be. The light in the piazza, tiny, sweet, and then it grows, and then it fills the air. Who knows what you call it? I don't care. Out of somewhere I have something I have never had. And sad is happy. That's all I see. The light in the piazza. The light in the piazza. It's rushing up. It's pouring out. It's floating through the air. All through the air. Who knows what you call it, but it's there. It is there. All I want is, all I see is tearing from inside. I see it now. I see it everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everything and everywhere. Fabrizio. The light in the piazza, my love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, before I get into my closing section, there are a couple people and places I want to thank. Get back to Secrets and Sequins. Yeah. Woo! Okay. So first of all, thank you to the incredible Peter Madpack, who... Yeah, we're just talking about him now, but he is so incredible. And, you know, I gave him all this huge range of pieces to play, and he did it all with a smile and a song. So thank you so much to Peter. And then I would like to thank the Venice Theatre. I'd like to say first that, you know, sometimes we have an incredible community for the arts, but sometimes it's better if your home address is not here, if you're a performer. You know, a lot of places prefer you to be from New York or somewhere more glamorous, Chicago. But I will say the Venice Theatre, in just giving performers a space to do what we love, that is not common. So huge thank you to them. Huge thank you to Alan and Lori Colton and Jasmine up in the booth and Gabriella. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Jonathan for putting up with my crazy cabaret lifestyle. Obviously, I love you. And then I'd like to say that I'm on social media if you'd like to find me. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I have a website, if you couldn't tell, KathrynParks.com. And then the next show I'm doing is going to be Maggie and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. It'll be at the Players, and it'll be the 3rd to the 13th of September, and I'm warning you now, I will not be singing in it. So hopefully it'll still be amazing. And then let's move on to my closing section. I wrote this when I was 13 years old. Saturday, September 14th, 1996. Dear Rivka, this will be the last time I write in here. Through everything I've been through, you have always been there. I've sorted out my problems. I've let it all out. Told you my secrets, my dreams, my problems, my life. You've been my relief through everything. Someday, I'll be a famous actress for sure. I'll find my true love or soulmate. I'll live a nice life, and I'll look back on this book, and I know I'll sigh or something. I bought a new journal that probably can't compare to this, but will help me same as you. I will call her Rivka with a K. Goodbye. This will be the last time I write, but most certainly not the last time I read you. I need a place to spend the day where no one says to go or stay, where I can take my pen and draw the girl I mean to be. Well, this is a new diary right here, and I'm going to write on it right here on the Venice stage. And what shall I say? Let's see. Dear Rivka, I'm writing this on the Venice stage. And it's been a delightful evening sharing with the most supportive and gracious audience ever imaginable. And I'm just feeling very lucky and blessed to be here today with all of you. Now, I'd like to invite you after the show to come up here and sign your name in Rivka. I need a place to spend the day where no one says to go or stay, where I can take my pen and draw the girl I mean to be. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we have a treat for you because you're all demanding an encore, I know. So I'm going to do a duet with my mother. My father's going to play the piano. Surprise, surprise. Thank you, Dad. This is called the Flower Duet, and it's from Loch May. And I remember in college, I heard two singers doing this, and I said to myself, one day, my mom and I are going to sing that. So here we are, and I hope you enjoy it.
Viens
De moi, comme mon père va sous la lune, ville je tremble des fois, pour que le Dieu qu'on le protège, jusqu'à l'écran on se bat joyeuse, les aignes aux îles de neige, alors courir les lotus bleus, oui, près de Sèche, aux étalés, allons crouler les lotus bleus, sous le baume épais, où le blanc jasmin en Thank you.